Well, we can just wait. We can.
No, I'll reach out now.
Okay.
I'll reach out. Who should I call? Who's good at this stuff? Who's really good at talking right now? Imogen?
Well, I would reach out to Imogen, or I would reach out to Laudna, or.
Maybe I'll do someone that we haven't heard from in a while.
Don't cut me out.
Well, I mean, I don't want to. I want to save your voice for when you actually might need it later.
All in.
I will send a sending to Orem of the Arashari.
Alrighty.
Fern and Grass checking in. Have you made it inside? Are you safe? Are you gonna let us know when to go? How's Imogen's voice?
We have three more words.
Okay. Ira hates friends.
Oh, that was good.
Should've
That was
really
good.
made it my father.
That was really good.
We've made it. Made some friends? Could use some help with a robot here, Letters. Any advice for a jump start? Not sure. Plan might be changing.
Give us something solid.
Okay.
Don't go.
We're on the rim. That wasn't an accident.
Oh my lord!
What?
My lord! I heard Imogen sneezing in the background. I think she might have some
Oh, it's probably the
post-nasal.
dust. Yeah.
I'm gonna try something first before I pop. I don't know if I can even pop open myself. I'd have to do surgery on myself. Wow. First, I'm just gonna try this first and see if it works.
Okay.
I'm gonna undo my scrunchie
Okay.
and take my hair down, my wires, and I'm gonna just try to like sort of tie them into this connection point. See if I can't like wrap them around in a specific way to get metal on metal.
It's totally hot wired.
With a natural 20 on your Arcana check, allow it.
Okay.
So you go ahead and you take these, and you know that you could probably get this up inside and like attach it to your actual core. But you go ahead and attempt to see if there is some sort of loose connection here. And while it's probably not as much power as could be put into it, as soon as you begin to like tether them in there, basically wrap the claw onto your head, it clasps on. You also see a blue flash of sparks from the inside of this area, and suddenly the still lifeless automaton begins to hum
Pump
slightly.
a little bit more energy
Are
into
we
it or
checking it back out
something.
without changing its programming or altering the runes or anything
I
like
don't
that?
know. We're gonna find that out next.
As soon as that comes on, you're still yourself, but you sense your consciousness also connected to whatever this is, and it is more or less just a blank psychic cockpit, if you will. You suddenly sense, like, you have control of your body, but you now sense, like, arms and legs beyond
Oh my
your
God.
physical self.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Oh man. All right, I've never had legs before. This thing has legs,
Has
right?
legs.
All right. Like Bambi. I'm gonna try.
That story is real good.
I'm gonna try to stand up on my legs. Oh, but just watch out! Watch out, everyone!
This is what all that time with the wooden feet was for, Letters.
This is different.
The tent wrapping gets lost in the storm and vanishes. But you now have a freestanding 16, 17 foot tall automaton.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna just try to move its appendages. Try to see if I can get a sense of balance and limitations on rotation, that kind of stuff. Maybe do a little bit of a chicken dance to just sort of get my get my bearings here?
Yeah, it's functional and fluid. You know, there's a little bit of a stickiness in the right shoulder. It looks like some of the plating has been damaged from the battle that it sustained.
Can I do the robot?
Make a dexterity check.
A natural 20. No, it's a 4.
Weirdly, not a very convincing robot from a giant robot.
It's a bit predictable.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What is your purpose?
There's trouble on the rim.
What trouble?
There was an attack. General Rotonish says to be on the lookout. Y'all are needed up there.
Make a deception check.
Come on.
This does not have advantage.
18.
Okay.
18. This figure goes, really? Well, then I suppose we should get to it. Stands up and kind of glances at the other two. The others kind of look back at him, give a nod. They stand up.
I want to have a second just to see. I want to see if there's any funny business this is making.
It is
nervous.
funny business.
Make an insight
no
check.
doubt.
Yeah,
Go for it. It's on.
Yeah, they're gonna.
No, 7.
7.
No.
Hard to pick up on
Yeah.
No, there's no question.
immediately, but they kind of walk past. They kind of spread out a little bit. The two call members kind of wrap around the four of you.
Yeah, they're flanking.
And the central vanguard figure kind of walks past you to get a very like up close glance at you. And as they move just past your shoulder, kind of looking into you, you hear in your mind once more their voice go, "Well, let's see what you're made of. I need you to roll initiative."
Okay, Orm is going to dive into a roll under the half-giant's legs and end up flanking Arcane. Nope, right here. So I am flanking with Ashton.
You got it.
And I'm going to use my blade to spin him around toward me with one slash. That is a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Oy, that is a 10 for damage. And then I will try to just stab straight up into his good eye. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 9?
9?
9? Yes, 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. How do you want to do this?
Oh, nice.
Exactly what I said. I'm going to use the first swipe just to spin his body around towards me and then just up and catch the non-cataract eye. So now he's got 2 problems.
Okay. Fatal blow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he just crumples to the ground. You see, the flying woman who is kind of gliding around ends up landing on this platform that's halfway up the quay and is kind of just looking around. People begin looking up at her and then scattering off, and you get the sense, having known Imogen as far as you are, they're
Communicating with them.
They're receiving orders silently.
Jesus.
You also see 2 flashes of light. One, you see apparate this massive 12-foot tall metallic entity that has armor across it with like blue streaks in it. It's like a refined humanoid form. One is this massive armored like iron fist. The other one is this large like man catcher like claw device with hooks on it and runes all across it. And the other flash, near the base of the quay, you see an older elven gentleman with long silver hair,
Oh,
no.
my God.
an extended staff.
Oh, no.
With like a hooked point at the end, almost a fork in a similar design as the top of the spire of the quay. His long blue robes with his pointed shoulder, pauldrons out. This is both beautiful make and almost ceremonial garb as much as it is armor.
We're totally ready for this, you guys.
Yeah.
3 heavy.
And they're near the base of the main spire.
Correct.
And Ryn is close to that?
Yeah, about 15 or 20 feet from the quay, behind one of the 4 smaller.
But there's still activity around.
Oh,
like
yeah.
me walking around the space is not going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Like people are moving.
They're moving. You're not certain how they move normally and if they'll take notice, but we'll find out.
I mean, I'm just going to go pick her up. Maybe with one hand, I'll just grab a piece of that ruined wall and sort of just, again, move it aside like I'm trying to clear it off or something. And then with my other hand, I'll just kind of reach down and grab her, so it all sort of looks fluid.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm a dumb robot just grabbing rocks. She seems like a rock to me.
Yeah. No.
No, you don't know.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Come on.
From within
Guide yourself.
the
I will guide
automaton.
myself if that's possible.
Yes, it
Sleight
is.
of hand, I have a +0.
Great.
Oh my god.
Come on. She's a rock. What's in the rocks?
Okay, that's a 5.
Oh, my heart.
So you grab the chunk of wall stone, right? You hit it, and the wall.
Oh god.
You hit one of the load-bearing sections of the ruin as it now falls.
Onto Ryn?
No,
No.
That's what he was talking about!
onto Ryn.
Guys, I killed Ryn!
That Ryn right as it was happening. You were trying to.
Yeah. Did you scoop up Ryn
We'll see. I
Ryn-
killed Ryn. It's okay. It's okay. She's an NPC.
This is about a 20-foot wall that like tumbled over onto the side, and you just see like where Ryn was, it's now just kind of stone and rubble. You don't see Ryn at the moment.
Because she's also stone.
But
and
now
rubble.
the room, like all the heads go
gone.
and shift right over to where you are, because after 2 essentially terrorist attacks in the chamber, another wall collapsed, and you're standing in the middle of it, clutching a piece of stone.
I will, with my body language, because I can't communicate like this, just sort of hold up the rocks and go. As if to say, "Oops, sorry."
He is the meme.
Make a deception
He
check.
is the meme. Guess I'll die.
Can I guide myself?
Sure.
Much better. This is deception.
Correct.
22.
Okay. That's good. That'll do it.
Now there's 2 rolls here. One is for the populace, the other is for the
23.
generals.
actually.
23. Populace, natural 1.
Great.
You see, like, most of the crowd around you be like, and they just go about their business, like, just super frustrated with this imperfect arcane tech. The generals. That is, hold on.
Can never
This is close. That was a natural 11.
I know.
That's not fine.
Oh, he's looking everywhere.
There it is. That is.
What's the eyebrows?
I don't know.
You're so fucking lucky. You see, like, the lavender-haired woman in the coat, kind of looking down at you, glances over towards Ludinus. Ludinus looks back at her, and she takes up and just kind of flies up through the center of the area. It's kind of like dodging through the various catwalks, as he kind of looks down and goes, and then does this with his hand. And the entire automaton deactivates around you.
Oh.
Do I deactivate because I'm tethered to it?
You do not deactivate, but you currently cannot move this automaton. You are just frozen right in the middle of this space right now with everyone running around you.
Oh god.
This also means you lost your visual perspective too.
Oh god.
And the first thing you see is a figure kind of begin to fall rapidly and then stop in place. And you watch as this figure suddenly gets grabbed from, actually it would be this hand, from behind. And the lavender-haired woman glides down gently behind it as the form of Caleb Widowgasp stands with the Mage Hunter Golem clasped around the back of his neck in the middle of this city.
Okay.
Get out.
You all hear the sound of something heavy, high-pitched whine streaking. You can see the blue glowing stones of the broomstone as the silver sun comes descending at intense speed straight down into the tunnel. Everyone below goes, he watches Ludinus goes, throws his other hand up, the non-withered one, and right as it is coming down on top, a force field appears right on top. It impacts and shatters, scattering outward and just killing dozens and dozens of the surrounding watchers and workers here of the Paragon's Call. The rubble of the Silver Sun just rings the exterior. No damage to the central spire, but in this space around, rubble and wreckage.
Oh, God.
Everything scales in the universe, even ecosystems. Tonight, we unleash the natural predator of the gods. Tonight, the children inherit the world. You hear dust kicked up in the air. The cloud of earth that's risen and thrown up begins to slowly dissipate as you see what looks like a large boulder has slammed from above. As the boulder slowly begins to unravel itself in the center of the ground.
Holy shit.
Double Marisha.
Yeah. Oh my God, triple Marisha.
Triple Marisha.
As she lands,
Triple
goes,
churned.
by the voice of the Tempest, halt this! Into the deep kind of rumbling, earth-cracking sound of the voice, and casts Mass Cure Wounds. You can see many of the wounded around suddenly, like, come to bear. Any of you who've taken damage from previous?
Yeah.
I just hope she doesn't get fucked up. And then I don't know if we're there yet. My characters tonight.
What if they all die?
What if they all die?
Including the new one.
I know.
35 points of healing.
Amazing.
Anybody else hurt?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think we're there yet.
No, you're not there. You shouldn't see it.
I'm gonna be crazy.
Is there still there's a cover over this whole thing, like a protection?
A slight barrier?
Yeah.
You don't see one at the moment.
I don't know what that was.
As she lands, Ludinus kind of looks down and smiles. Right on time.
No.
And he just says,
You guys.
no. Casts Power Word Stun on her. She immediately freezes up. Turns over, and you watch as Odahan darts out of the shadow.
Oh shit, I forgot about her.
All three. Of her echoes that she creates from the back surround
No.
Keyleth, who is unable to move due to Power Word Stun. Let's do a full round of Odahan full attacks. She's not looking great.
One round, man.
As Odahan goes and strikes all the incarnations just into this frenzy. The earth elemental form cracks, and then what was once shale and pebble becomes red, blood scattering on the ground. As Keyleth lies kind of frozen, eyes wide, Odahan goes for like a heart strike, and there's a dark flash in the air. And you see where Odahan's blade was. Instead, you see a cloak of feathers.
Jesus.
What? Fuck, what the hell?
Black raven feathers.
Wait, put on the bingo. Put on the bingo.
Is Vax on there?
You see a masked figure with long
Shut the fuck up, man! Shut up! No fucking way! You cannot be serious!
Where is it?
who is now standing over and protecting her body. Daggers in each hand. Don't you even dare.
Oh god. Oh god.
FCG, your turn.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Ludinus, looking down at all of this happening before him, he smiles. grins over the space and says, "And now, the final piece. The sliver of divinity. The lens." And he snaps as he reaches his other non-withered hand back into the device, as Liliana, who's holding her action, goes ahead and casts a spell down towards the champion of ravens. You watch as suddenly all the mirrors on the side of the tunnel turn on at once, and these bright beams of energy shunt into him like hundreds of reflecting mirrors. He triggers something within the machine, and you watch as the champion screams out in pain and is compressed down into a sphere of dark shadow. Vax is pressed into just a sphere. Liliana lifts it up with her telekinesis and places it into the empty spot of the machine. And now, you see like sparks shooting off parts of the machine. The power's not quite there, and he's kind of like, ugh.
Did we hear boom go off behind us yet?
Mm-hmm. The explosion of dynamite hits, and you see other parts of the power like powered down, and he's like, "It'll have to do. It is time, my children." And right as you look up, you can see there's other sky ships beginning to appear.
Oh, what?
Different Vasselheim and other forces have begun to arrive, just as the red moon glows above. You watch as every Ruidus born in the chamber stands tall, including Imogen, as red energy filters out into the center of the spire. It's being drawn in and glowing, just all of these living batteries all pouring into the center device as it begins to rise and crackle before
Hey,
the
I have
energy
one of those at my house.
begins to gather and form. Ludinus glances up. "Let us destroy what will unmake them." And you watch as this incredible thick beam of red energy fires up into the sky. It lights up and sends every cloud scattering out of visible sight, up into the air, up towards the red moon of Ruidus. You watch as all the sky ships that were just about landing kind of begin to crumble with the force blown away from whatever fires up into the darkness. In that moment, Ludinus, kind of still holding his other arm into the machine, smiles, his eyes wide. 1,000 years. You couldn't stop me. You couldn't. Some of the machines kind of spark a bit. He's like, he looks a bit nervously. Kind of swallows deeply. It's too late. It's too late. The red begins to glow brighter and brighter. You watch as all of the tethered Nexus energy, all the converging power of the ley lines begins to spark and grow lighter and lighter. Magical energy begins to flow out in all directions. The sky goes from pitch black to a deep red to a multicolor explosion of magical arcane energy into white. A familiar white. As the high-pitched whine subsides,